So nerd alert mode on, and we start with natural minor. Natural minor is the common minor in Western music. We've been surrounded by music like that from the cradle to the grave. It has a very simple and well-known structure. And first we look onto natural minor and its modes. These modes of natural minor are also referred to as the classical modes, because this is what Western classical music is made from. To keep things as simple as possible, I decided to use a natural minor for a little example here. So we end up with just white keys. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Just white keys, no prefixes, no black keys. Keeps things as simple as possible. The first mode of natural minor is the typical natural minor structure we just saw, starting on the A. This gives us the notes of natural minor, of course, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. The concept of modes is about to change the fundamental or the root note. For example, the second mode is not using the first note, the A, as the root, but the B. So you end up with a scale that is B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. You can see some prefixes changed. Here you have a major second, here you have a minor second, and so on. This is because we changed the root note. One step to the B. Let's play this game further and change the root note to C, D, E, and so on. Looks like that. You see, you get 7 modes. In the 8th, you land on your root note again. And this is not just like playing Sudoku or something. You might recognize there are different modes that are quite important in Western music. Ionian is also called the typical major scale. This is the standard major scale. It's the third mode of Aeolian or natural minor. And especially on handpans and other kinds of music, there's another mode that's quite important. This is the 5th mode. So starting the scale on the 5th. This is called Phrygian in Greek or Latin, and is also referred to as chord in Makam. This is why all our typical chord scales are named chord scales, because you start the circle of notes on the 5th, which is the E in A natural minor, or the A in D natural minor. So that is all about natural minor, which is the common minor in Western music. Of course, the world is a bit bigger, and in world music you might find one or another other minor species. The most important, especially on handpans, is harmonic minor. Just the 7th is a different one. On natural minor you have a minor 7th, and on harmonic minor you have a major 7th. So of course we can build up the modes of these harmonic minor species. Again, the first mode is harmonic minor itself, starting on the first note, using it as the root. Then changing the root to the second note, third note, and so on. And as we had that with natural minor, also here the 5th mode is quite important. This is the mode called Phrygian dominant or Hijaz. It's starting on the 5th. It started with a key. Never thought it would come to be. As said, there are other minor species in the world. One more or less also popular is so-called melodic minor. But to be honest, I never met any handpan scale built in melodic minor. It's a minor system that is widely used in jazz. So very sophisticated, brain-heavy music. On handpans, I don't think there has ever been made any handpan with a melodic minor system on it. So just to refer to the differences, it has the major seventh as harmonic minor and also a major six. But as said, this minor system is mainly used in jazz. Just skip it for handpan. Of course, you could also build up the melodic minor modes. It would look like this. But as said, as it's just used from studied jazz musicians, just forget about. So let's get back to handpans. The most typical minor scale we know on handpans is the so-called D minor or A chord. This is a scale in D or something else. I'll stick with the D for our example because it's so common. It has the root note on the ding and then jumps into the circle of notes starting with the fifth. It started with a key. Never thought it would come to be. It started with a key. Oh, never thought it would come to be. This is also why it's called a chord, because if you start the scale on the ding, on the root note, you are playing in D natural minor. But if you start the scale and use the fifth as a root note, you are in the fifth mode, so in so-called Phrygian or chord mode. So the correct name for that scale would be D natural minor / A chord. It's not a D chord, it's an A chord. Harmonic minor scale, also referred to as an A Hijaz, is nearly the same, starts on the ding, jumps to the fifth, and the only note that is different is the seventh. This is a C4 and a C sharp 4. So if you followed up until here, you might guess what's coming now. First of all, what if we build a pan that has no seventh on it? So no C or C sharp. We would be able to play with both, with D harmonic minor and D natural minor. This scale has been built, of course. Panner did it, others. Pantheon Steel named it Osa minor, which comes from Latin, from astronomy, and means little bear. It has no seventh, so you're able to play with natural minor and harmonic minor. Next step is quite obvious, I believe. As I'm coming more from the musician side, I'd love to play scales that do not have any holes in it. So what if we build a scale that has both seventh on it, the natural minor seventh and the harmonic minor seventh? The scale would look like this. So we have both of them. We have the C4 and the C sharp 4. As you can see, both of them are put into brackets. That means I put them underneath onto the bottom side and have more space and room for additional high notes, maybe one or two. Next high note would be a B flat 4. Attention, this is the so-called critical note on handpans with a standard diameter of 53 centimeters. That's because there's an interference with the diameter of the ring, and this is matching exactly B flat 4. If you have a good handpan maker, he will be able to build that note. It will always sound slightly dampened. If it's made good, you might not even hear it directly, but if you listen close, you will find a slightly dampening effect or a slight difference. Nevertheless, I said I'm a friend of scales that do not have any holes in it, so we we put it in to have the whole scale playable. Next notes would be the 7th again. Remember, the deeper 7th we put underneath onto the bottom side, and same we do here. We take both 7th, the C and the C sharp, and put them underneath as bottom notes, so we have space for one more high note, and this of course would be our root note, or the octave of our root note. Again, you see we have 3 Ds in here, and it's a complete scale from the A to the D5. And as you can see on the bottom side we have all 7th, so the C as the 7th for natural minor, and the C sharp as the 7th of harmonic minor. So far so good. Let's return to our pan. Nerd alert mode off.